All right. Today we have a special episode, and I kind of feel like we've been leading up to this one for a while. It is the Ring Theory and Knights of the Old Republic episode. So recently, Brian and we watched the Prequels Strike Back, a fan's journey on Patreon. And it was a film that came out in 2016. It was a fan film documentary by Bradley Weatherholt about the Star Wars prequel trilogy. And in that film, there's a lot of interviews conducted with film scholars, critics, academics, and Star Wars fans. And I definitely recommend it. What did you think of it, Brian?
Yeah, so it was really excellent. So one of the things that I really like in film, just in general, are documentaries. Really big fan of documentaries. So this one was really good. And this one is interesting. I'd heard about it when it first kind of got off the ground. So it was featured on Indiegogo. They were raising money to make this thing. And I went back and looked, and they raised about almost $13,000, so like $12,773 on their Indiegogo to get this thing off the ground. And I thought that was really cool. And yeah, I mean, it's laid out really well. It tells a really good story about the prequels, and it was really fascinating to watch, really interesting to watch as a Star Wars fan, as a prequel fan, as a sequel fan. It was super interesting. So I was way into it.
Yeah, I feel like it was a Star Wars fan film made by fans for fans, kind of about the fans.
Yeah.
The tagline is, "You must unlearn what you have learned." And I really enjoyed it because it's kind of like asking you to reevaluate what you think of George Lucas, what you think of the prequel trilogy, and what you think of Star Wars, what you think of the fandom. And I think like with kind of like time, I think like a lot of the fans have kind of come more full circle towards George Lucas and the prequel trilogy, but it's almost like the cycle's repeating itself again, and it's like it's interesting. And I like that what this film does is, rather than like kind of just criticize something, it's deconstructing it, so you're learning more about it and kind of bringing awareness to things. And I don't know, I kind of hope that the Star Wars fandom moves into a more positive direction that's not so, kind of clickbaity and kind of like to the extremes. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, one of the things you recommended this to me, several weeks ago, and I'd never watched it. I'd heard about it through the Indiegogo, so I was kind of aware of it, but I'd never really seen it until we watched it for the watch along and for this episode here. But one of the things I really liked about it was that it was laid out in this hero's journey kind of style, which is, as Star Wars fans, that's a storytelling medium that we're really familiar with. So it made a lot of sense. And yeah, it was just really interesting.
Yeah,